Hey, welcome, Corey.
Brett, how's it going tonight, man?
Hey, man, I'll tell you what, if you'd have told me 4 weeks ago that we had episode 5, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, came a long
What
ways.
about it? Yeah. Hey, guys, welcome. Episode 5, season 1, the Cattle Drive Live. Exciting thing we've got planned for tonight. A busy night, some new stuff going on that we're excited to tell you about. And hey, we're not going to waste any time tonight jumping right into the goods because it's going to be good. It's action packed getting there. But I'll tell you what, when we finally get to the meat and potatoes tonight, Corey, we brought it, didn't we?
It'll be good. Yep, we got the entire the Bloomberg clan, Jim and Blake and Jake Bloomberg, the whole family,
Yeah.
gonna give us a history of the Bloomberg, the family and the herd, and kind of what they've accomplished.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. Any time that you have a chance to highlight talent like this, you better take full advantage of it. And so maybe we had a little insider trading with Paige, but hey, I'll take it where I can get it on something like this. What about you?
You bet,
So
absolutely.
hey, something new tonight. You're seeing SC, the show circuit logos. Some information floating around tonight. Something new that starts this week. There is a little list of people we've gathered that's had some interest in our show. Thank you very much. Episode sponsorships are live and well. First on the list this week is our good friends at the Show Circuit magazine. We were sent in some information for them. We're going to share that with you right now. You'll notice there at the bottom of the screen, the showcircuit.com is their website. They have a blog, sc2day.com. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, pretty much everywhere you want to look, you can find those guys. Coming up here, real quick, Corey, is the big January, February issue. I'll tell you what, most of those big issues that come out at the show circuit, you can chalk a trailer tire with them. They're so darn thick. Um, and everybody anticipates seeing this January, February. So that deadline is December 10th. If you would like them to do your advertising, if it's camera ready, ready to go, ship it to them no later than December 17th. That the price that you can talk to those guys about will include design and up to 100 flyers. Hey man, they're innovative, aren't they?
Oh yeah, Stephanie Sindel and her crew, McKinsey Grauer. They do a great job. Great people, great to visit with on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do ad designs. Hey, banners, stall signs, pedigree cards, logo, website design. Hey, check out this backdrop they did for the cattle bonanza last year. Check that thing out.
Yeah, I
Um,
seen that in the magazine. That looked really, really sharp.
Oh, I'm telling you, and that's the thing about it. All these shows that happen all winter long, all spring, they're starting to buy these custom backdrops. And hey, give these guys a call. Let them at least price this to you. Let them try. Give them a chance. They do such a good job. I've heard that in January, Corey, be the 25th anniversary of SC the magazine. So
That's what Steph was telling me too.
yeah, it's good stuff. So those breeders that's headed to Cattle Congress, Denver, you need stall signs, you need pedigree cards. Hey, right there at the bottom of the screen, Roland, his number's up there. Mackenzie Grauer, Stephanie Sindel. I mean, it's right there. Write it down. They're going to leave it up this, for the whole evening. But thank you for the show circuit magazine for being the first episode sponsor that we've had. Be
Yep.
looking for those in the future. Those of you that's interested, get a hold of Corey, myself, Paige, Lacey. We'll help you out. So,
Show Circuit will be having a big display like they did last year down there at Cattlemen's Congress as well. It was the life of the party last year, and I'm sure it will be again this year as well.
oh yeah, there's no doubt. Good stuff. Hey, segment 1, the coffee shop, current events within agriculture. Got anything for me? Got anything for me at all?
I tell you, it was a big over the weekend. A lot of changes or big news in reproductive uh, spectrum of cattle agriculture. Reproduction Enterprises sells to Bonanza there out of Sweetwater, Texas.
Yeah, they sure did. Colton Thigpen and those guys got deal finalized with Les Hutchins at REI, and REI is now Bonanza. Bonanza is REI. I'm not real sure. I've had a phone call with Hutch. He's wanting to discuss it. So, hey, we just want you to know what's going on. So big stuff. But hey, 605 Sires didn't sit around in their pockets all week either. What about this news?
We announced Sunday there. We will be using ABS for an IVF service there. They have a laboratory in Sioux Falls, South Dakota here.
Okay.
We've worked with them here for about 2 months, kind of getting started here, and been having great luck. They're easy to work with, and they've done us a great job. We're looking forward to. We will be having a Facebook Live tomorrow morning with Mike Donnelly, the manager of that laboratory, and he'll give us the history of ABS there in Sioux Falls and tell us a little bit more about it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting. Not only talking to you about it. I know you've been excited. I know you've been wanting to get it out from underneath your hat, but it's just exciting for the business and see some growth and right there in cow country. So hey, embryo on snow. What about this?
They talking to Grand Blog. They decided to split up this year. They're going to have one sale in Oklahoma City. There at the Cowboy Hall of Fame again, won't it be?
Yeah.
And then they'll have a second sale in Denver this year. They're going to split up the genetics a little bit and offer an equal quality set in both cities.
Yep, you bet. Hey, then you got big weekend fired up finally of these jackpot shows. I mean, not only in the South, Midwest fires up. Those of you that are listening that's new to the business, find the Pulse. It's powered by Sullivan Show Supply. It's all things livestock shows. It's results. You can find out what these ones, what those champions are. A lot of times breed champions and pedigrees and where they come from and things like that. But this week we had Oklahoma State AGR, Bob May and Jim Pipkin sorted those. You can get on there and find that. What about who's your beef Congress, Corey? Who was in the middle of
Who's your beef Congress? They had Taylor Graham sorted the steers, and then the heifers was Blake Nelson and Gerald Buck from down south there.
Yeah. How about that, Mister? Is it Mr. and Mrs. Main on Jew? Is that what you'd say, or just say Mr. and Mr. Main on Jew?
Yeah,
Mr. Hereford. I don't know how you just say that, and I mean, God, not a Main or a Hereford in the top 5.
Yeah. Yep.
So, nothing like not riding for the brand, guys. Good job. But Badger Brawl kicked off. Wayne and Barb Orrick, Brigham Stewart sorted that. So get on the pulse, follow along each week, and Sullivan brings it to you just front and center every week. So, hey, segment 2, Banker's Cut. I don't know if he's around. He's probably busy. Last I heard, he was headed to Vegas, but we need.
Hey, what y'all doing? What's up, Brett? Corey, what you doing, baby? Hey, Brett, you make it
your report.
Brett, did you finally make it home?
I made it home.
I heard you at Stillwater. I talked to a guy that was up there, and he said that on Thursday they pregged his heifer and she was 6 months bred, and it took so long at that show she calved before the grand drive was over. That's just what I heard.
Hey, you heard right. They
said that show took so long that Taco Bell closed down. I mean, a long time.
I'd say, hey, give me a market report.
Okay. So in the grains this week, we had March corn up 6 at 584 1/4. KC wheat up 1 3/4 at 824 3/4. March beans up 4 at 1267. January soy meal down 60 at 352.60. Oklahoma City cattle 16,000 head. They called the Kev steady. The yearlings 5 to 9 higher. And on the fat cattle end, I'm hearing 140 bids. Hearing trades 2 to 3 higher than that. So anyway, there's your market report. I got to go 10. I got some Scottish Highlanders on the wash rack. I got to go 10 to them.
It'll take you as long to blow them dry as it did that show this weekend. So
Yeah. Hey, y'all be cool. Good to talk to you.
thanks. See you, boy.
See you later.
Jeez.
Must have been a long one.
It wasn't short. So, hey, segment 3, let's roll in here. The herd report, which is our weekly sale report. Corey, cut
Yep.
into these things.
Wasn't a lot moving this week, but what we did have was show circuit online sales. Buck cattle had 15 head of heifer calves, averaged 10,400. Had a polled heifer that topped it at, was that 46,000. My eyesight's getting terrible here. Olson cattle sold 10 head and averaged 66.50. Had a horn that brought 18.5. England show stock had 14 steers that averaged 48.42. Sold to 10 different states. That's kind of cool. That's spreading them out. Had a Here I Am that topped it at 14,000. Mears cattle, Kevin Mears out there, good friend out east, had a heifer lot 2. She is a Primo I-80, brings 22,500. That was the show circuit online report. Innovation, what they turned in, they had a sale. The Nelson family here from Minnesota, they had 24 head of Angus and Simmental females, averaged $10,567.
All open heifers too at that. So, but they, Graham also said he's got a busy week coming up. Big high quality stuff coming up. Got the JS Simmental sales. Was that Saturday? Got the big Hartman 25th year anniversary on the 11th. And Udell and Schaefer there on 12/12 of next week. That'd be some sure enough good highlights. So, hey, Blake. Is Blake with us possibly, hopefully? I don't know. Jim and Jake maybe in the back door. Hey, it's segment 5. Let's roll right in here and bring on. Hopefully they're all, well, we got 2 of the 3. There we go. Here we go. Hi, Jake, Jim, guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Hey, Bloomberg cattle. That's what we're here to talk about. I know we'll get off into something else, Jake. We won't get into much of your past. We'd like to get into Jimbo's. But Blake, he's kind of had a little technical difficulties. He's working on getting patched in here. Extremely successful judging coach, Oklahoma State, now at Blackhawk. Just has a knack for winning those national titles, doesn't he, Jake?
I guess.
Come on, brag on him just one time in public. Come on.
Yeah, he don't do that.
There you go. Hey, real quick, guys, welcome to the show. Take just a minute and let us know something about you that maybe we don't know.
Go ahead. Jim Bloomberg. People know us mainly for the Simmental breed, and we've kind of dabbled when the kids were showing about and everything. They used to call us kind of the rainbow herd because we showed shorthorns, mains, keys, Herefords. But now we're pretty much basically Simmental with a few Angus that we're raising. Of course, I've been in the Simmental thing probably since the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Started with up there Circle B, helping Denny Benute a lot. And I kind of went full circle from where these cattle have evolved now, from the big, tall, red and white ones to, the basic good cattle that we have now. Lucky enough over the years to be mentored by quite a few people. Maybe people don't remember now, like Nick Overpeck, Bill Couch. I ran with them kind of guys. J.W. Bruni, a good friend, still raising cattle out in Kansas. Some old time people. My good friend Arlo that passed away here a couple of weeks ago. People like that I kind of grew up with and kind of evolved into the business we have now.
You bet. Well, I think at one time out there when I was around, you had a small herd of miniature goats there at one time.
Fainting goats. Remember that?
Fainting goats.
Yeah, I used to give them away for wedding presents.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you. tell us. I mean, I enjoyed listening to that, but tell us about you. Tell us something. Introduce yourself.
I got actually when I was a kid. Interesting fact. I liked showing pigs better than cattle. Pretty much because I always got third pick of the cattle behind my brother and my sister. So I kind of got first pick of the pigs because I didn't mind cleaning their pens out all the time. So I actually enjoyed doing that more. But, once my brother, went to college and got, old or outdated, and then my sister decided she liked pool and basketball a little bit better. So I got the better end of the cattle deal as well. So that's where I started on the uphill climb of that. And more so, I have to give credit to my dad because not only has he taught me a lot of things, but the biggest was kind of make your own mistake. He give you a lot of leeway. You can pretty much do a lot of different things with your own projects, but if you messed up, then he was back in control. So, which was fine because we dang sure we've had.
Hey, there's a few mistakes made, believe me.
Hey, so you hit on something right there, Jake. You made the comment that you just opted to show pigs there for a little while, being low man on the totem pole. But Jim, my questions to you. In those times of the kids being young and having 3 kids wanting to show cattle, how much decision did they get on selecting those things? Was it like, here you go, good luck, you guys go pick them, or did you kind of walk them through those and say, hey, I want Blake can have this one, I want, I mean,
They kind of had a hierarchy thing for a while there.
okay.
If you talk to my daughter, she always got the low end of the totem pole, but it's kind of funny thing. She happened to do pretty good with whatever she ended up with. So
Right.
It really didn't happen that way. But no, it kind of went. Blake was the oldest and more experienced. If we had one we liked a little better, of course he had it. But then it kind of evolved when, and Jamie and Blake kind of went to college and moved on, and Jake kind of took control and you can see it made him a good cattleman.
Unless I had one that did some winning, and then she got transferred in Blake's name.
You kind of got them show broke, backdrop broke, and then
we got the first couple shows.
Slap broke.
Slap
when
broke.
you let him out at night, you always slap him.
Yeah.
Get him slap broke.
Blake was damn sure the elite, the chosen one showman there for when he was in his prime. He was the one. Yeah.
Yeah. All 3 kids, in showmanship deals. They,
They all ended up being damn good. Yeah.
They won national junior deals with Jake. I remember Kansas City, you were 11, 12, and he was supreme showman there. But I also remember me having his feet off the ground, ran back talking to his mom coming out of the ring when she was trying to tell him some things to do, and he got smart with him and with her, and we had a little heart-to-heart right there in the alleyway coming out of the ring at Kansas City that day.
sound like it was eye to eye too.
Heart game?
Yeah.
I said it sounded like it was eye to eye.
Oh, yeah. Corey can attest to some of that. He's hung around here a little bit. He knows.
Oh, that's good stuff. Hey, so go ahead, Corey.
Well, I just was going to mention before we leave the talking about the past. Blake, tell me if I'm wrong. I know you won the national 4-H contest, correct? And did you win senior college in Louisville?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won the 4-H contest. No,
You
I
didn't.
didn't.
Okay.
Louisville.
I knew you won the national 4-H contest in Louisville. You bet.
Yeah. Like my senior year, I had a good fall. I was second or third, I think, in Kansas City. I won like 7 or 8 of them smaller contests leading up to like the bigger national contest. But no, I did not. I didn't do very good.
I remember you carrying hardware. It must have been at that 4-H contest, but still,
Yeah.
I'd say that Louisville deal, if he's carrying hardware, is somebody else's, Corey.
Oh.
That's one
Tough
of,
love.
one of them bad days, you know.
Yeah.
It happens. We all have
Hey, Jim, when we're on the subject of that, did you judge at all like that collegiately or anything?
back when I did it, it wasn't near as intense as where I went to school. It wasn't near as intense, but I went. You know, the people on my team was Cassidy, Kevin Cassidy, and Jeff Ruling. You know, there's some good livestock people. We weren't near as serious, believe me.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, we'll keep moving on here. Hey, whoever can go first, but Brett and I were just curious. You know, who were some of you guys as mentors in the cattle business that you can kind of cite as a direct reason that you had success?
Well, I can start. You know, I grew up in the city in Kewanee, Illinois, and I used to ride my bike out to where the Horsley boys were kind of neighbors to a friend of mine, and kind of got interested with the cattle thing there at the Horsley Ranch, and kind of my family moved from my dad worked for the phone company there in Kewanee, and we moved down to Bloomington, and then I just kept going up there and spending more and more time at the Horsley Ranch. And, you know, that was there in the late '60s, early '70s, and
Was Jim Horsley older than you then, or
Jim's younger than me.
he's younger than you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bob's a little older than me.
Okay, so Bob was kind of running the show back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've ended up being more as much or more my family than my own family in that respect. And then kind of blossomed out there. You know, we kind of helped Denny Benute up there a lot. The Horsleys did, and with his Circle B operation. And you know, big time Simmental breeder early in early '70s. You know, until he passed away.
That was Circle B, right? Circle
Yes.
B Simmentals.
Circle B, and then
Denny Benute, and then
helped Nick Overpeck.
Yep.
There's a few other people that did, you know, and I kind of like to tell all these young guys, you know, we made $20 a day then, and Nick's, and I had 57 head of cattle in Louisville that year, and had 2 people helping me. But back then, everybody traded help, you know. I had old freight train out in the old timers remember old freight train. I had him cleaning up manure out in the tie outs because there's all them red and white ones. And of course, we were in 2 different parts of the barn. We bedded in straw, but then we sold 300 club calves every fall there at Nick's, and I was the only one at home. Wouldn't trade it for nothing. Best experience I ever had. Tremendous guy, and people know livestock judging. I think he still got the record at the national contest when I was in Chicago. I think he's still the low drop of all time.
Wow.
And then Bill Couch, of course, we hung around with Bill, you know, with the Overpack, and I said earlier, you know, J.W. Bruni and people like that. Carol Payton, which people probably didn't know. Jim Morris down there in Missouri. At the Hereford cattle. And I had a good learning experience with all those people.
Oh man.
Jake, what about you? What you know? Who's a direct mentor of yours?
In regards to non-family members, but my grandparents and my own parents, for sure would be right up there for the number 1 and 2 spot. But you know, just going to shows as a little kid, I remember actually me and my dad were going to Louisville one time, and we used to stall outside. We never even would go inside. We'd always stall our trailer was out by the Satries. We stalled right by them every year, and just him and his wife and Katie, they would, you know, just have a big string, and it was just them, and nobody else would help them. And then we'd go in, walk through the barn, and you know, you walk through the annex of the Shorthorn Alley, and you're enamored with the Sullivan's display and the Kate's display. And I remember my dad walking over there and just talking to all of them. And I'm like, hey, how do you know them people? Like, they're way above our pay grade. You know, so just being a youngster that grew up to analyze and idolize them people such as, you know, the Cateses, the Sullivans, the Troy Thomas, the Gerald Buck, Randy Mullenix. You know, he doesn't live very far from me. But people that I think make a living doing what we try to make a living doing, I can respect as much as anybody.
Right. Yeah, that sure, yeah, that sure makes sense. I like how you listed those people, and you know that's a direct correlation to how you make a living today. So, hey, where did the love of Simmental cattle come from?
Well, like I say, I've been into Simmentals, and I'm getting old enough now. Not too many people probably have been in as long as I have, and seen everything, how we've evolved in our cattle. You know, I remember Tom Studer running around with Achilles in a trailer, in a bumper hitch trailer, putting him on display as a yearling bull. Now, that's kind of going way back, you know. But that's what it's come to now. That's how it's evolved from them full-blood cattle that were, you know, imported. And I was kind of on the ground floor of all that, starting at Benutes, and then seeing now how everything's evolved, you know, to get the black-hided cattle and making them right now. We're finally getting cattle. You can see it in the shows now. How this, when you get a top-end Simmental, they're usually in the top 5 at about every show. It's hard. I mean, when they're good, they're really good.
So did you bring the Simmentals to David and Dee Dee, or did David have some?
No. David, you know, like I said, we couldn't run our operation here without the help of our Jake's grandparents and Blake's grandparents.
Sure.
I mean, they're the salt of the earth. You know, we use their ground, and they're partners just like we are. They got cattle, and we work together still. But David he used to feed a lot of cattle, and Danny Benute, they'd fly to Montana and buy Simmental feeder calves up there. And then
Gotcha.
and then if they get a load of heifers, they'd keep the top end out of there because you could get papers on them because they were half bloods, and that's how they started.
Yep. Hey, we finally got Blake hooked up here.
No, I'm on. Sorry about that. Little internet difficulty at the college.
You bet. Hey, we just to catch you up, we just asked your dad and your brother, who's kind of the mentor that you can kind of say had the biggest effect to make you what you are today?
I'd say when you take out our grandparents and our immediate family, for me, there's 2. Dan Hogue and Dr. Chris Skaggs at Texas A&M. Those are the 2 that probably shaped me for what I do in my career and the things that I have going on my front now. I would say those 2 both had a huge impact on not only all 3 of the Bloomberg kids, especially Dan Hogue, but Dr. Chris Skaggs on me professionally.
Yeah, and hey, Blake, we bragged on you a little bit. I hate to do it now that you're on here, but I mean, the success you've had as a coach and as a mentor to so many young people today that choose to livestock judge. I hate to say that it's unrivaled, but hey, you set yourself apart from the contemporaries in my mind. And I mean, what drives you to continually do that?
I appreciate those kind words, but we had a recruit in today. I told him that a coach is only as good as the students they have, and I've been really lucky to have some of the best students in the country, and I have them right now at Blackhawk, and I had them at both A&M and Oklahoma State. And how many people can say that they got to coach both their siblings and 2 of their cousins? I'm not telling you coaching Jake was easy. Actually, he was probably the hardest of the 4 to coach. But and Jamie was the easiest, believe it or not. But to coach 2 cousins, 2 siblings, and the numerous amount of kids that chose me as their coach is a pretty humbling experience, to be honest. And I don't look at it as me as the coach. I just kind of drove the van and got them entered into the contest and gave them a few pointers. I started with quality kids, and that made my job pretty easy and pretty fun.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I call him Nick Saban.
Nick Saban.
Pretty easy when you got the horses.
I'm a talent collector. I love talent.
Hey, this next question's to all three of you guys, and it's got to be really cool, especially now, Blake, since you're closer to home. But tell us what it's like to get this to do this this cattle business together now, all three of you within driving distance. What's the dynamics like of two fathers and a son and stuff. Just walk us through that.
I could go first, I guess. For me, my job's pretty easy when it comes to our business. I do what Jake and Dad tell me to do. If they need some help, I go help them. If they want my opinion on a big decision, most of the time Dad listens to me pretty good. Jake, I'd say it's 50-50. But, we all kind of have our role. I don't have necessarily don't know what my defined role is yet. I just kind of pitch in where they need it. But I would say that the best thing that Jake ever did, and I think Dad would say that Jake went out and worked at places before he came back home, and the things that he learned good and bad. But he brought that back to our operation. And, I took a different path in terms of academia. I'm a little envious of Jake because he gets to be at home every day. I think each of us have our own defined role, and to watch a program develop like it has, it takes all of us. I have a dedicated wife that allows me to do things. We have a mother and mom, Mary, that, was really good. We have a grandmother and a grandpa that gave us the opportunity. So I think each of us has our defined role as we can, and we're kind of continuing to progress. I've only been back 2 years, but it's been a great 2 years.
Well, I can say now that, getting a little more up there in age, and the greatest thing that happened to our business is the two boys coming back close to home. Jake being hands-on here, he basically does things I don't like to do no more. Breaking, blowing, rinsing, stuff like that. I don't mind doing it, but I got other things to do, and it's a young man's sport. And so, the way we do things now, without the two boys and their input, we couldn't be as successful as we are. There's no, I couldn't do it to this scale that we're doing it now.
Right.
I did the fixing and the haying and stuff like that, and the breeding, but it's a team effort. Like any place that's successful, it's got to be a team effort.
If there's something broke, usually caused by myself. Everything breaks on me, but I can't fix anything. Me and Blake are terrible mechanics, but I tell you what, Jimbo, he can fix about whatever you got to throw at him.
There you go.
Well, when you grew up and didn't have no money, you fixed it. You don't
Right.
call the guy. There ain't no reason to call the guy. Just fix it.
Right.
Me and Blake,
Jim, you hit on something
Blake
earlier.
and Jake call the guy.
Jake and I don't even change our role. So call somebody.
Right.
Send us a bill. We'll get it paid. We're good. We're not mechanics.
So Jake, earlier in this conversation, you hit on the fact that in your younger days, in your kids' younger days, Dad allowed you to make decisions and maybe give you plenty of rope. Maybe at times he said maybe enough to hang yourself. Jim, was that by design within the back of your mind? Someday these guys will return and not just be told what to do, but they can drive the boat just as easy as they can fish?
Well, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
you never grow as a person if you get coddled all your life. You got to learn. You learn from your mistakes.
But
That's just part of it. Mistakes, and in fact, I had a young man here before Jake come home, and in fact, he was a superintendent's boy. Didn't know nothing about anything out here. And one day he said to me, he goes, "You've never yelled at me one time for making a few boo-boos. And I looked at him and I said, I'm going to tell you something. You didn't mean to do it, did you? And he said, no. I said, well, I'm going to tell you something. In the business we were in, things screw up. It happens. I don't care how careful you are, things screw up. And I said, that's just part of the business. So, that's kind of the way I've done with my kids or anybody who's helped me. Things screw up. I don't care where you're at. It just happens, and you live with it and you go on. You fix it.
Right.
Well, I would jump in there. Dad may not have ever yelled at that kid, but he obviously never dealt with my marriage. She yelled at Jake and Jimmy plenty growing up. So Dad was not really the enforcer. I would say that was Mom. She got after us plenty. She was not shy about that.
Yeah. Okay. There's no gray area with Mary, huh, Corey?
But I would also ask you, Blake, was it warranted?
Oh, for Jake, it was always warranted. He still didn't correct it at this stage of his life. But, Jamie was always golden child. Jake and I we had to tell her which heifers were hers. And, but she always did get the worst ones. I felt bad for her. Corey can attest to that. Poor Jamie, she always got the short end of the stick on quality heifer. But, we did it as a family. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade what we did for anything. Mom and Dad, we competed at a time when the overhead maybe isn't what it is now. And, looking back, Mom and Dad put everything they had into the three of us kids. Every dime, every extra penny they had went towards us showing. And we didn't know it at the time, but Jake and I look back and, it's pretty humbling what Mom and Dad and our grandparents did for us.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I will bring Jamie up, and she's not directly a part of this operation, but she's down in Texas, and her family has her family's got a good goat operation, but they own cattle here, so they're still indirectly involved, and they've done well in their purchases and what we partnered on.
Yeah. Hey, this last deal we wanted to hit on, I think it's going to be this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. This question here, being in the industry as long as all three of you have, individually, what is, and it could be the same thing, what do you attribute your greatest achievement is or favorite memory in the business?
It's pretty simple for me. My greatest achievement is raising three good kids. And they all turned out successful. I think they're all good people in society, and they're successful in what they do, and the work ethic was never a problem, and not in all three of them. And that's, I don't know what more you could ask for a father as that, and that's pretty simple.
You bet. Jake?
I don't know. I'd have to say either 1 year, just a couple of years ago, we had 3 purebred heifers at the Junior Nationals. They ended up all getting in the top 5. One was grand, one was reserve, and one was 5th overall. That was a pretty special moment, not only for our operation, whatever, but I guess for a guy that, lives and breathes it, calves them out, make breeding decisions on mating them, watching them. Hopefully, you find them every day out in the pasture, and then hopefully they don't rip their ear tag out when you got them in the breaking barn.
Right.
Just little things like that a lot of people don't think about, that, hope their tails don't get stepped on in the stockpile.
Right.
Just stuff like that. That and being reserve grand bear at my state fair.
There you go. What about you, Blake?
I'd say we have a lot of them, and Jake touched on some that are, but to me, it's the people that we've met in this business and people that we still, our network, between the three of us and our family, we know a lot of people, and it's such a unique opportunity that we still have. And I feel like we stood the best time, started as kind of a smaller operation. And I think what we've built this to and the people that we know, to me, the fact that we've kind of gone from our grandparents' generation to Dad and now to Jake and I's involvement in our whole family, that's the thing that stands out to me probably more than anything.
Yeah, that'd be a highlight in my mind too. I mean, the people that we've met and the friendships that we have, and everybody wants to beat everybody, but our true friends, you can beat them, they're still your true friends, and to me that's what's good about this business. Most of it's like that.
Right.
Everybody, we're all it's a family deal throughout the country in what we do. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
You bet. Hey, real quick here, go one at a time. Most influential cow that you feel like, what's your favorite cow of Bloomberg cattle, past, present? Maybe it's the same one. I don't know. Which female is it for each one of you that's kind of the little feather in the hat?
I know the answer to this one, but you might tell the story of the way that she came to be.
I think it's got to be Steel Magnolia. Harlan Yoakum and I were headed to Jewel Bucks to officiate the contest. I had just moved to Oklahoma. Harlan Yoakum and I to the car. We drove down there, and he said, "Hey, we got to stop at Conley's. He's got this Simmental." I walked out into a lot, and out of this self-feeder popped this Baldy. And I'm telling you, I had the owner. I didn't have any money. I was a grad student. I called Corey Thompson. I said, "Hey, I found one." He partnered with me when he was at Bushy Park. I sent her home. Jake stayed home from school the day I sent her home. And he cussed me and said, "I cannot believe I stayed home for this heifer." She went to Denver. A month later and was reserve grand to dime as a calf. We told her here. And the rest is history on Steel Magnolia. And without Corey Thompson, he's the first person I called. He said, "Hey, if you find one," I found one, and she wrote history for our program. There's other cows, Rocky Hills Mary, Poison. We got a new donor we call Mari, but I'd say that Steel Magnolia is an industry trademark name, and it was dumb luck that I found her.
How many females do you have have you retained in the herd out of her now and utilized?
Well, to be honest, she only had 2 calf crop. She was at Bushy Park and you couldn't get her to flush with the shit. So my dad had to take care of her. So
That's a true story.
to be honest, she died at a young age. And
she had a great udder, though. She raised a natural calf like a son of a gun.
I would say 6, 7.
Yeah, probably
6 or 7 cows.
And they're all donor cows, and they've all produced already. And we sold quite a few this year out of them, and
Yeah.
good homes and
And she's the mother of Sullivan's Proud Mary. That's like the mother of a bunch of stuff. Sam, something about Mary.
Yeah. All that bloodline now goes back to that one Steel Magnolia cow.
Yep.
No, we've had a lot of good. The kids grew up with a lot of good show heifers, and and Blake brought up Rocky Hills Mary. That was the first one. But she had 3 heat-weight steers and won 3 different state fairs that one year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Corey we talked earlier before we were on about me going up to South Dakota, North Dakota, and kind of combing that thing. That was before the internet age, and you can kind of find things in the backwoods. And that little spot up in Williston was a hot spot because great family, an old family, and had just good solid Simmentals, and that's where Rocky Hills Mary came from up there. But I remember one year, the first year Jake won the state fair with that half-blood macho heifer from Santa Frank rider. Blake come home from college, and we had about 6 or 7 heifers in the barn for Jake and Jamie. And Blake said, "Well, that macho, she's all right. He said, the rest of them, you might as well turn out. And I told him, I think I'll just feed them a while. What did we end up winning? 4 breeds that year, State Fair, Blake?
Yeah, we did good. We did good.
Oh, but speaking of Rocky Hills Mary, I showed her when I was a young buck.
You showed Rocky Hills Mary?
Yep, and then she turned into being something good, and then she got transferred to Blake's name.
You hit on that earlier that you got them slap broke, and then it
Yep.
was always the transfer that bugged you the most.
Yeah.
Well, they knew who the better show was.
Yeah, I've witnessed your expertise on it.
I still got it, all right. Were you not in Louisville? He's not watched the Simmental show? I got beat around like a pinball, but I got better.
I like it. I love it. Hey, hey guys, really, this has been awesome. It's been fun to listen to you guys, to listen about how Bloomberg cattle has evolved, and you know, listening to Jim talk about giving you guys just enough rope to hang yourself, but to see what that's done for you guys and how you've taken that rope now and what you've done with it, not only for yourself, but Blake, with you cultivating the young the way you are, and Jake, the way you're at home with Dad, and maybe driving the boat around there a little bit. It's really cool.
Bill Swan.
Yeah, look at, you like that, did you? No, I mean, it's just really cool, you know, to see you guys' family, your involvement, and what you've done for this business. And so it's been my pleasure. I know Corey probably feels the same way, but it's been my pleasure to have you guys on tonight.
Now, sure. Thank you, gentlemen, for what you're doing and getting the word out. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Hey, cool. Hey, appreciate you saying that sale highlight for this upcoming week. Tomorrow night, SC Online.
Tomorrow night, SC Online sales. The
Oh, that's right.
Warrior Brad Heifer sale.
Yep.
That's right. If you haven't seen it yet, go find the drive marketing video we shot the other night with Jared Boyer, with Jake Bloomberg, and they discuss those cattle in detail. And on there, you'll get to hear a little bit of insight on a few donor cows that those guys needle each other over throughout the year too. So it's always a good time to listen in. But hey, guys, thanks, Blake. I'm glad you were able to get on here. We thought we was going to have to throw you a lifeboat or something. These other
Better
guys.
be a big lifeboat, but I appreciate it.
You said it, not us. So. Guys, thanks again for coming on Cattle Drive Live. It's been a good time. So thank you.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, Corey. I don't know about those guys sometimes. But hey, it's been fun tonight. Let's keep rolling. We're going to have to wrap this thing up. Segment 6, we always close the show out every week with what we dubbed as Cattlemen for Christ. I thought tonight was going to get interesting. I'll just tell you, I knew that how close those guys were with family. I knew what Jim thought of the boys and Jamie as well. It's not that it's just the boys. I knew what he thought, and I think a verse that came to my mind today was John 3:16. And I know this is just those of you that aren't maybe background in church the way I am. I bet you've seen John 3:16, and it reads, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life." And I think that you go to break down John 3:16, you see somebody like God, Christ, who gave his only son up for our eternal salvation. And I think that's something that Jim would do with those kids of his own. I mean, he gave those kids up, and I just think it tied itself together. But just kind of tied up this week with John 3:16. So, hey, next week, I don't know what we're going to do right yet. There's some big stuff in the works. I do know this. Next week's episode is going to be sponsored by a big name as well. Not only is the show circuit on this week, go find showcircuit.com, sc2day.com. Thank you for sponsoring this week's episode. Check in next week. Pretty big name there too. Those of you that have interest in getting on here, let us know. Contact myself, my wife, Lacey, Corey, Paige. We will give you the skinny on what it is. And thank you for joining in tonight. So, Corey, got any last words?
I mean, those of you, anybody's got upcoming sales here, even through next spring, get on the calendar. We're going to cut these off and not have, so we got 100 a week. We're going to cut them off. So get on the calendar. Get on the calendar soon for them spring sales.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, thank you, man. I enjoyed tonight. I knew that this was something that you were looking forward to just from your old days in that Berwick area. So,
Absolutely. Good guys.
Oh yeah, we're just talent for sure, and it all stems. They can say what they want to, but the most important one wasn't even on here tonight, was she?
No, probably not. Area.
Yeah, you betcha. Hey,
if this was a Yellowstone show, we'd name it. I thought that was a good quote tonight. That give them a little rope. I thought,
yeah, give them a little rope is right.
That's good. That's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you know if Blake had known how much rope Jake had, he'd have tried to hang him.
Yeah. They gave Jake a couple lassos full. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you bet. Hey, man, I've enjoyed my time with you this week. And so I guess until next week, you have a good week, man.
Absolutely. You too, Brett.
All right. Take care.